Hey there, guys. Hope you're doing good. This is Ben here. Just wanted to make a quick video today about a revelation that I had. I actually got into taking diazepam when I was in Vietnam, or actually even in Phuket, Thailand. I had a really bad panic attack, which was brought on after living in isolation for quite some time when I moved back into my mum's house. I live in quite a rural part of England, and basically I wound up like if you've ever seen The Shining, I wound up a little bit like Jack Nicholson in that, where he's inside too much and he just goes fucking mental. And basically I didn't have my driving license and I didn't have a job. I was weightlifting at the time, but it was the gym that there was at the time wasn't as good as the one that they have subsequently built recently. So even the gym wasn't very good at that time. Everything was just pretty shit, and it was the English winter, which is cold as fuck. And I'd come back from Southeast Asia, and the juxtaposition was just terrible. I was already addicted to something called kratom, which is a plant that is indigenous to Southeast Asia, and it's actually an opioid. They sell extracts of the active ingredient, and it's called 7-OH, otherwise known in the petrol stations in America as Feel Good or Feel Free, which is apparently 10 times stronger than morphine, I believe it is. And even kratom, which has only got 1/10 of the power of this 7-OH or whatever, this is a bastard to give up. It is incredibly psychologically addicting. I've tried giving it up, and I haven't slept a wink, and it's just dreadful. You can really, when you're giving it up, you can really feel that it's an opioid. You have no strength, no vitality, and you can't sleep, so that just makes it even worse. I really need a miracle to give this shit up. But basically, I had this panic attack in February of last year after finally getting out of the isolation, but my mental health still being fucked up. The isolation was so bad during that point, I got scared to go outside, started getting really bad derealization, and just thinking way too deeply about the vastness of space and weird shit I shouldn't have even been thinking about. This is what happens when you spend too much time on your Jack Jones. Would not recommend. Now, I get to Phuket and I have this panic attack where it feels like my brain's going to explode. I'm not even saying that hyperbolically. I had to obscure part of my vision because my fucking senses were so overloaded, I just couldn't handle it. And I was driving like a lunatic, like covering half my eyes whilst driving on a little chicken chaser, some little scooter in Thailand. And the anxiety was so bad, even though I don't drink, I basically drove to the nearest bar and just started drinking the strongest booze I could get my hands on. And I felt fucked up. And I really had a bad experience the last time that I did benzos, which I can talk about another day. But it was really bad. Really fucking bad. Like close to death, waking up in the hospital, not knowing how I got there. That was with the Xanax bars, which are nothing to be trifled with. That shit'll... Like, once you're on those Xanax bars, you could wind up anywhere. You are not in control. Like, where you wake up is a mystery if you overdo it and you're not with good company. Now, I actually, after this experience with the panic attack, I wound up realizing, because to me, I'm not some kind of guy who just drinks all the time, or just because I was on holiday, I wanted to just do fuck all. My happiness and my productivity are inexorably linked. If I'm living like a peasant, living like a lazy couch potato, doesn't matter how much booze I got in my system, I'm gonna be so depressed and sad. And basically, this is what turned me on to the diazepam. And when I took it for the first time after dealing with this shit for like 6 months, it was a revelation. It was an absolute revelation. It blew my fucking wig back. That's not even the right term. It was like I'd been walking around with an 80-kilo barbell on my back. Not too much to make you drop to your knees, but just an incredible weight to carry. And when I took that diazepam, it was like, oh my gosh, things are all right again. Things are all right again. I can't fucking believe it. And I basically started taking it every day from that day forward. And it really has helped me. Like, to this day now, I can go outside and not take it, or even just stay indoors and be just fine. I will feel less comfortable, but I'll be just fine. So I know people shit on benzos, but they really have really sorted me out. Now, I came back from Vietnam in December of last year, and I actually brought back I think it was 130 or 140 diazepam tablets. Now, I actually went from Vietnam to China, somewhere in China. It might have been Beijing or Shanghai, I can't quite remember. But I was going through China with 140 diazepam tablets. Looking back on it, that was fucking bougie. That could have gone really bad. Because that's distribution amounts. It's pretty lucky that diazepam tablets are rather slender, because that could have gone to shit. Looking back on it, and I came back, and the reason why I was willing to take that risk is because I knew after what happened with the panic attack, I knew if I can't get these diazepam in England, I'm going to be fucked anyway. Like, moving back in with my mum, this is going to be a disaster. And I did manage to get through and bring back the diazepam tablets, and they've been nothing short of gold dust for me. Nothing short of absolute gold dust. But as the months have wore on, I've been dwindling down on the amount of diazepam that I actually have. And this is where I've really got into a rut lately. And I've realized just how tiring, like, having bad anxiety is. Having really bad anxiety wears you the fuck out. Like, it's tiring, man. To cut a long story short, as this diazepam's been dwindling down, I haven't been able to go to jiu-jitsu. I haven't really been able to do much of anything aside from eat food, drink kratom, and go to the gym and lift as much weight as I possibly can. And that's it. Like, I haven't been able to keep my room tidy, haven't been able to wash my clothes. I haven't been able to do jack shit. And it's not because I'm lazy. I've realized today, I'll tell you now. So basically, this diazepam's been running out, and I live in a complete nanny state in the UK. If you critique Muslim grooming gangs, they'll sentence you to years in prison. And by the way, I like Muslims, yeah. They have reverence for Christ. There are plenty of Muslims who I really admire. You know, there are a lot of them out there are really respectable people, so I'm not tarnishing everyone with some bad brush. I know that these grooming gangs, if they were in somewhere like Dubai, they'd be fucking dealt with. And that's all I want for these cunts. Met plenty of people from Saudi Arabia and all over who are Muslim, who are really nice, who I respect. And I'm not Islamophobic at all, but these grooming gangs can get fucked. And the fact that you can't say that in the UK without getting locked up for years, meanwhile these nonces and the grooming gangs themselves walk free, is a testament to how fucked this country is. I won't say what career path my mum does, but she basically observed a 111 non-emergency phone call, and she basically was listening to this really old pensioner lady who had to get her teeth done. And she was scared of the dentist, as many people are, and basically they told this woman she wanted some diazepam. She wanted one diazepam tablet, and they told her, "Oh, we can't give that to you. We can't give that to you," through the NHS, which the NHS doesn't even have they don't even do dentistry anymore. They just that once you're over 18, you got to go private, which costs a fucking arm and a leg. So there's this old ass lady who's scared of going to the dentist and she wants a diazepam tablet. They say, oh no, we can't give that to you, but you can go private. And basically she went private and it was £500 for one tablet. It almost makes me laugh just hearing this shit. Because this is how fucked this country is. Oh my god, man. This country's so fucked. Just the government themselves are so fucked. If you want to build a house on your land, you need the government's permission. The government who works in lockstep with people like Jimmy Savile and just dirty fucking cunts, the whole lot of them, the whole pack of them. And just, we live in a nanny state in the UK. Suffice to say, I could go on, but I won't. And I realise there isn't a cat and hell's chance that I'm getting any diazepam through legitimate means. So I basically wound up having to download Tor browser and start looking on this shit. And this is not something I want to do. I'm actually very fearful of things like fentanyl, and you don't know what the fuck's in these things. So it's not ideal that I have to go through this shit. And if the police are listening, I'm telling Porky Pies. I've never visited the darknet in my life. I don't know what it is. Now, basically, the first link on Tor that I clicked on, I made the mistake of looking for one of these onions to a market called Torzon. Via typing the link, I typed in Torzon link into the search engine, and I immediately got phished, PHISH'd, for like 25 quid, because apparently that's a big no-no. But subsequently, upon looking for my money, I found an authority on the matter on all these darknet websites called Tor.watch, which has all the official onion links where you won't get fucked and shafted with no Vaseline. Now, I won't say which thingamajiggy I ordered from, but I actually wound up getting some diazepam. The first one I got was dog shit, and it was pressed with God knows what, even though it had like 85%, 85% of the reviews were overwhelmingly positive. As I dug deeper through the reviews, there were other ones which were saying this is pressed with fake shit. And I looked up the name of someone did a one of those harm reduction tests to see what's actually in this shit, and it's a complete fake benzo, which is dangerous and isn't very researched very well. And sure enough, I took a tablet. I took half a tablet the first time it got here. Felt rough as fuck. I thought, oh, well, maybe it was just because I took half. The next day I took a whole tablet. And boy, I was fucked up. Like, I felt more anxious. I felt more derealization. The moment I put that shit in my body, it crumbled in my mouth like sherbet. It didn't crumble like a real diazepam tablet. And the moment I took it, I started feeling worse. If you're taking benzos and feeling more anxious, that's like drinking coffee and feeling more tired. It's like, what the fuck's the point? What is the point, mate? And anyway, I messaged the cunt who I bought this shit from, and he said he basically just refunded the whole order because the money hadn't actually been released yet, and I suppose he didn't want the shit review. And well, that was all right. I thought, Bob's your uncle. At least I got my money back. And the second order, I was really discerning this time. I read a shitload of reviews, and at this time, bear in mind everything I've told you, I was living on a prayer with this shit. Like, I know if I can't get my hands on this, I'm probably going to become a piss can. Because I can't handle everyday life, as my brain chemistry is really, for long enough, without some kind of medical assistance at this moment. Not in this predicament, anyway. And I thought, man, I really need this to work out. And I messaged the guy I bought it from, and he assured me, he said, bro, this is real pharmaceutical shit, which, is that worth, of course they're going to say that, but I was just praying to God. I said, If this is real and it works, I told him about buying shit in Vietnam. I said, I'll buy loads of fucking strips from you. Please let this work. Please. I used to buy a strip of 10 milligram tablets in Vietnam for £2.50. And these are like £8 each, which actually isn't too bad considering where we are and how much of a nanny state we live in and what have you. Yeah, it's weird how Vietnam's meant to be this communist, authoritarian country, but we're meant to be ahead of the curve and progressive. Meanwhile, we're getting surveilled and governed like little sheep. But anyway, this shit got here, and it looked exactly like the shit that I bought from Vietnam. And the reason I made this video today is I only slept 5 hours last night, and I popped a 10 milligram tablet today. And unlike this fatigue which I felt lately, where I can't do shit, my clothes are dirty, I can't make phone calls, I can't clean my room, I can't do shit. I only slept 5 hours, but I took this 10 milligram tablet, and it was like a weight came off of me, and I could just do things. The way I've heard it explained, it's like when you've got anxiety, it's like you've got two voices in your head. It's you've got the voice which says, yeah, we need to do that. I want to do this because this is going to move my life forward. But anxiety is the voice which says, no, we can't do that. It's the voice of resistance. And when you eliminate that resistance, it's actually really surprising the shit that you can get done and how easy it feels. The number one thing that we have to worry about, well, not worry about, but the thing we have to combat isn't other people, it's ourselves and our own resistance. Because we're the only thing that can fuck this life up for ourselves, really. If we're privileged enough to live in the UK, America, Australia. Like, I was just shocked to see how easy it was to do the things that have been so hard to do since I haven't been able to get diazepam. And just, it's fucking insane, bro. Like, for me, I know people really bash benzodiazepines and say that they cause dementia or what have you. I'd rather live 60 years and do what I fucking wanted to do than live 90 years but have been frightened the whole time and living like a flock of frightened hens just scared of their own shadow and worrying about this thing and that thing. That is no way to live, bro. That is no way to live. And I took this benzodiazepine tablet, this diazepam, and I started tidying my room. I started calling up construction companies, and I've organized my forklift license and all of this shit, and just managed to do things that otherwise were so tough. And also got some modafinil as well, if you know what that is. That's for people out there that have got narcolepsy. And that shit is crazy. Considering I only slept 5 hours, I really think this could be a little cocktail. This diazepam and modafinil, because you've got the anti-anxiety component of the diazepam, and then you've got the energy of the modafinil. That is a combi. That's like peas and carrots, bro. So I pray to God that now I can end this rut I've been on of just being a mess. I haven't had my hair cut in like 7 months. I'm growing 30 on the sides. Like, my hair is like a rat's nest. And I just want to turn it around now. It was so encouraging just being able to do the shit, which is easy to do, but which has been impossible to do because I've been walking around with this like battle going on in my head. Just a battle. So I pray that's over now. I really want to start getting out of this rut and just start living again. You know? If you watch this far, guys, thank you. This is my first video of this kind, so if you watched to this far, thank you very much. I'll keep you updated. Have a nice day.